Hey there, I'm Annie Havland, your host of Talk It Up TV. If I were to ask you, what would you do with $1,000? What would you say? That is exactly what my crew and I just did. We launched the Life Improvement Project, where one entry was selected to win $1,000 and had the opportunity to share their story on our show. Join us as we venture off to Orcas Island to surprise a guy who has dedicated his life to helping these animals and to find out why we cannot just stop at $1,000. Welcome to this special edition of Talk It Up TV. Yeah! You bet. Test, test.
Roll 'em, roll 'em.
Talk It Up TV, take one.
This is Talk It Up TV. After months of deliberation, we selected one lucky winner whose story completely stole our hearts. Over 10 years ago, Thayne and Chris Hamilton started Gray Muzzle Rescue. They rescue the worst of the worst abused dog cases around the nation. In order to keep the visit a surprise, we relied on our two insiders, Becky and Rhonda, who got us all the way to the gate. Thayne thinks his two good friends are coming for a visit. Little does he know, I'll be at the gate with my crew to surprise him with the news.
Hi, Brad. Oh, Brad. Here. Wow, what a surprise. Hi, you guys.
Hi, Thayne.
It's so nice to see you.
You know who we are, right?
I do, for sure, Annie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, everybody. Oh, you guys.
So do you know why we're here? I'm here to give you this, Thayne.
You guys, this is great. Yeah, I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have you here. Oh, Tom, I'm glad to have you here.
Over 20 dogs have lived out their lives in the warm, caring home of the Gray Muzzle family. Like any family, life gets expensive, and Chris and Thayne provide for every dog on a very modest fixed income. I feel like I'm in like dog heaven right now.
This is Tom Drewley. He came to us at 15 years old. He'd been abandoned in a kill shelter in Phoenix, Arizona. Since the first day he was here, he's just always just felt like he was home. He just knew that he was home right away. Lila doesn't walk very well, so I just carry her to the wheelbarrow, and we call it driving Miss Lila. She was chained for 14 years on a slab down in Snohomish County. She was fed pretty poorly. She was so mad when she came to us, her legs were pretty much glued to her stomach, and she couldn't walk. So I have to stop for a minute.
Can I push her?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to know how Gray Muzzle Rescue got started.
When I first moved over here 10 years ago, my wife, Chris Hamilton, had 3 dogs, and then we shortly took on another old dog, and then another old dog, and then we had one dog named Fluffy, and he changed our lives, you know, and he had a heart attack in just a couple of years, and so we kind of said, this is our mission. And it started from there, and then since then, in 10 years, we've adopted 23 abused or old, blind, deaf, starved, just the worst of the worst abuse cases from all over the nation. You know, I'd seen some hard times. I'd been in an industrial accident, and I had a number of fusions done, and I was kind of lost as to what to do with my life and how to be happy, and found that these dogs kind of, if they could let it go, then maybe I could let some of it go too. And so it was kind of a light bulb moment for changing my life, and I kind of felt like I owed it to some of these dogs to pay it forward to some other dogs. And it was kind of a who rescues who here is kind of always debatable.
I know. We were supposed to stop at $1,000. But after hearing everything these animals have been through, don't you think they deserve just a little bit extra Talk It Up TV love? I called the local business owner, David, at Pioneer Pet Feed and Supply and told him Thayne's story. And holy wow, wait until you see what he has in store.
So let's go shopping.
I am so ready for this.
Good.
I'm gonna grab one of these baskets
Let's
here.
do it.
and then we just load stuff up.
Trust me, you might grab 2. For dogs with no teeth and troubled mouths, we're gonna do some super soft biscuits, 1 in each flavor. We got cheddar, cinnamon roll, peanut butter, pumpkin pie, carrot cake. Let's just do 1 of each.
I feel like trick-or-treating. This is gonna mean like so much to Thayne, you have no idea. This is so kind of you. But guys and gals, that is not all. There's a lot more to this story.
Just through our rescue work that I do, I started working with a lot of rescues from all over the nation, and we started looking for those dogs that really had no place to go. There was really no hope of anybody adopting them, and they just deem them unadoptable, or they've bit someone, and that's the common problem with a lot of the dogs I get. They've more had people problem issues than health issues. Nobody wants to take those dogs on, and so they really don't get a chance. Being able to cut them loose here and let them run the 5 acres with no leashes, it teaches them how to be a dog again, and then they forget about all those human hurts.
So we're sitting in front of
our graveyard. Yeah. All the graves are marked for each one of the dogs that we've had. Each one of the dogs have their own casket. I build each one of them a custom casket out of recycled materials. In the back, I built the Rainbow Bridge in honor of my wife. Chris was actually from England. She married a Navy SEAL and was a foster mother to 74 foster kids during the Vietnam War while he did 13 tours, and then moved up here and started doing more dog rescue out after raising her kids. And we'd met each other shortly after she came up here. She's actually was the godmother of my children. And so we'd known each other for 25 years before we ended up being married. It was really her vision, and then once I got here, it really turned into a reality. And so I just kind of vowed to keep it going. That was one of her last wishes, to keep this thing going. I came home after being off island, and she'd been in the house bleeding for a couple of days. But and we had some nurses, of course, come by in hospice, and but there really wasn't much that they could do. She was already lost quite a bit of blood, and so it was about 14 days of hell. We'd been to an emergency ward before, a couple of years before, and we had been checked out of an ICU unit once they found out we didn't have insurance. And of course we had a pretty large bill from that still. She didn't want to lose the rescue with a big medical bill. And that was really, we both had talked about this before. I mean, what would happen if we ran up, say, a $500,000 medical bill? And so we had to, at that point, choose whether we would get these DNR papers signed and notarized to refuse medical service.
Because this is the home where the dogs are.
Because this is where the dogs are, and if we lost this to a big bill, then where would the dogs, or where would I go at this point, or where would the dogs go now if something happened to me? Where would they go?
What are the things that you love most about Chris?
Her unwavering ability to love dogs. And no matter what they were going through or what kind of hardship anybody else was going through, she could always pull it together to do for these dogs, and just encourage me on to learning more and more all that I could about how to understand them better. And it was a gift that she gave to me. She died surrounded by 8 loving dogs and a husband who loved her, and she got it her way, and that's how she chose to do it. So we were talking a little bit about the bridge here. The bridge has 20 spindles for the 20 dogs that Chris and I saved together, but we'd always talked about the Rainbow Bridge and having a rainbow bridge to be over for our dogs, and so I built this in Chris's honor. Oh, this is a great place to come and sit and reflect, and a lot of times we'll come down here and there will be deer laying down here.
Yeah?
It's just one of those places that you can come and sit and think about all that we've learned from all of these dogs.
What you do for these animals, and It's really beautiful, and after hearing your story, we couldn't just stop at the $1,000. What we did is contacted local business owners, and we shared your story with them.
You know, after reading his story, honestly, there's no way I couldn't be involved.
We told them about Tom's birthday.
How about we make it a party
No way!
and we just get all the dogs a birthday biscuit?
Oh, look at that!
He has been gracious to donate you with a whole bunch of pet supplies.
Oh, wow.
All kinds of like amazing like treats and toys and just
Look
all
at this,
kinds of
guys.
stuff. There's one more surprise. A friend of mine, John Kenny, he is an attorney with Luce Kenny Law and Associates. We told him about the complications of like how it could affect things, and he is willing to set up the 501c for you. And
my
he's going to
gosh.
help you through all that and give you the advice to be able to do that. And there's lots of people that we've already been talking to that want to help contribute to your new
Oh, wow.
501c.
That would make all the difference in the world to make this rescue what it could be. Getting some of this legal stuff worked out right now, it's bigger than I can tell you. It's been bigger than I have been, and I just have been lost as to what to do. I kind of sit here in limbo just because I've not known what to do. You guys.
Thank you so much for watching this show and supporting Talk It Up TV. Please make sure to share this on Facebook and tell your friends about what we're doing. And don't forget to like our page while you're there. See you next time.
Tom first, because it's his birthday party.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.